The next question is being asked by the Honorable Luz Urbaez Weinberg. She's a commissioner from the city of Aventura in Florida.
My fans. It's an honor to stand beside you as a Puerto Rican-born Jewish mother of three with Afro-Dominican blood in her.
That's what I'm talking about. You and me, we're right there.
And you have a beautiful tan like mine.
There you go.
Latinos throughout the nation are experiencing the impact of our foreign trade policies and the rampant outsourcing taking place in their own neighborhoods and communities. One Latino voter in my county, Miami-Dade, said, "Can you imagine having to buy tortillas from China?" With the Latino unemployment rate reaching an all-time high of 6.5% that exceeds even the general population, how would you propose as president that we strengthen our leadership in the global economy while protecting the interests of all American workers?
Well, this global economy is here to stay. It's not going away. And what that means is that the jobs that used to be available, if you were willing to work hard, you could go to a factory. Yeah, when I first worked in Chicago, when I moved to Chicago, it was in the southeast side of Chicago, which has a huge Mexican-American community as well as an African-American community and white community. And everybody there was able to work in a steel mill. And you could, if you were willing to work hard, you could support a family, have 2 cars in the garage, take a vacation, have a reliable retirement. Those jobs are not all coming back. It now takes 1 worker what it used to take 10 workers to do in terms of making steel. So some of it's automation, some of it is jobs being shipped overseas. Our goal should be to make us more competitive, and I've listed the things that we need to do to make that happen. Improving our education system, having a serious energy policy so that we're weaning ourselves off dependence on foreign oil, fixing our healthcare system so it's not just a drain on, so it no longer is a drain not only on families but also on businesses, rebuilding our infrastructure in a serious way. But you're right, we also have to get our trade policies right. Now, I am a believer in trade. You know, trade, particularly in the Western Hemisphere, between the United States and Latin America, can be a powerful engine of growth on both sides of the border. But I also believe that our trade agreements should be structured so that we've got labor provisions and protections, environmental protections that are enforceable, and that is something that we haven't been doing. And when it comes to countries like China, we've got to be tougher negotiators. If they are stealing our intellectual property, if they are shipping goods here that are unsafe, if they are not allowing our goods to be shipped into the United States, then we've got to hold them accountable. And the goal should be prosperity for everybody. And unfortunately, the way our trade deals have been structured, they've been very good for corporate profits. They have not always been good for U.S. workers, and that's going to be a top priority. But let me just make one last point about this whole issue of jobs. I mentioned construction. I want to just talk a little bit more about energy. Everybody's experiencing the problems of sky-high oil prices. This is the consequence of 20 years, 30 years of bad policy here in the United States. But there are some things that we can do that would make an enormous difference, not only in driving down oil prices, but in creating new jobs. You go to Pennsylvania and you will see steel mills that are now making windmills. There are plants that are building solar panels where buildings had once been empty. We can rebuild our electricity grid in ways that save us energy. All these things create jobs. We can create 5 million new jobs in the energy sector if we've got leadership in the White House. That's the kind of leadership that I want to provide.
Thank you, Senator.